suggested to me that I go. And being a captain in the army at the time, I took all suggestions from colonels very, very seriously. So I went. Well, William marched in his parade. George Fitch had his movie made, and I almost broke my neck. But you know, the possibilities of what we could achieve really intrigued me, and I set about building a bobsled team to make a serious effort at the sport. This afternoon, I'd like to share with you my 4 words for measuring myself. These words I use daily to measure my every action, my every decision, and they have served me well. These are not nice poetic words. They're words developed by Lord Kitchener of Khartoum. He was a British soldier, and his claim to fame was the massacre of dervish, spear-throwing dervish tribesmen. He used machine gun fire. He used them to describe how he dealt with others. I have found that they are an excellent way to describe how you must deal with yourself if you are to live the values of teamwork, determination, drive, and the community spirit. Ruthless, relentless, resolute, remorseless. Again, ruthless, relentless, resolute, remorseless. I was never the greatest team player. But through this journey, I've come to realize that the only possibility for success is to have a functioning team. It was a lesson I learned the hard way. On that fateful day, February 28, 1988, when we had our little mishap in Calgary, I woke up with the flu virus and a temperature of over 100 degrees. While walking the track prior to the race, just a practice bobsled drivers have to check conditions, I slipped, fell on the ice, and broke my left collarbone. I got to the top, and the physio applied the magic spray, which you may have seen used on football players. And with the pain gone, I was out standing in the start area when our manager came up to me, the same George Fitch from the bar in Kingston. And he said to me quite casually, "Well, your coach is gone." And I said, "What?" My coach, this is the guy who had put me on the ice for the first time, taught me everything I knew about bobsledding in the 3 months I've been involved in the sport. And he was up and gone home at this moment, which was to be my biggest moment in the sport. I was devastated. But I pulled myself together, or I thought I did, and off we went, almost to oblivion. But I learned that day to put my faith in no man, to assume personal responsibility for my actions and my motivations. That was a lesson I learned too well. I spent the next 4 years trying to do everything in Jamaica bobsleigh, from running the federation to being the #1 driver on the team. I knew I had the vision, but instead of trying to infect others with it, I charged off like a pit bull, alone. It took the disappointment of the Abbeville Olympics to convince me that this wasn't the right way, that I needed more than a bunch of guys in the sled with me. I needed a team to address all the aspects of the sport, all the aspects of the effort, from the management to the coaching to the actual team on the ice. Within 2 years after coming to this realization, we were 14th overall in Lillehammer. That's ahead of all American finishers on 1/10 the budget. How did I do this? How did I, in 2 years, go from where we were in Abbeville to being a really world-class team in Lillehammer? Ruthless. I was ruthless with myself, ruthless with my ego, ruthless with my fears, and ruthless with my shortcomings. I'm still learning teamwork. Recently, I was on CNN. A teammate and I had been sent there by a company as part of a media blitz to promote a particular effort they had. The interviewer, tired of hearing my voice, directed the perfect question, the opening for the company pitch, to my teammate. And he, being unaccustomed to the media spotlight, fumbled. And I just sat there and didn't come to his rescue. And there went the sponsorship dollars. Well, you know, when you're on a team, sometimes it's not enough to do your job, but you have to cover for teammates when they aren't doing so well. Now, determination and drive I never had a problem with, or so I thought, until I took on a task which is now in its 10th year. How do you go on day after day, year after year, and the temptation to wilt grows stronger when you're not getting the returns, you're not getting the feedback, you're not meeting your goals as you thought you would, and you seem to be getting further and further away from where you want to go? You know, ruthless, relentless, resolute has a ring to it. But really, in order to be relentless, in order to have that drive, you have to have a resolve. You must be resolute. You must have the determination. Our resolve is that deep, quiet belief which anchors us as individuals or as organizations. Resolute. To be resolute, one must have a deep conviction about the rightness of one's actions. One must have a passion for, not an infatuation with, one's goals and aims. The Chamber, through its volunteer membership, exists to lead the economic growth and development of the city of Dallas and the Dallas metropolitan area. This means job creation, attraction of new investment, retention of existing business and attraction of new business, and the promotion of a positive image of the metropolitan area. This also means the support of initiatives and organizations that contribute to the betterment of the quality of life in the area. How many of you recognize this? You call this your mission statement, I call it your resolve.